All right, so chapter 26 is about fluid balance. So fluid, electrolytes, acid base, all of that. So it revolves basically about water in the body and where it is and how it's moving around. So our bodies ultimately are made up of cells. We know this. Cells, whatever. Cells come together, make up tissues make up organs, whatever. So we've got blood cells, all kinds of different cells. So inside cells, there's fluid. And, we call that cytoplasm, right? And we got organelles floating around in this salty water. We know it's got lots of potassium in it, whatever. And that fluid inside of cells makes up the intracellular fluid. So cells, the fluid inside cells is intracellular fluid. So that compartment is called the ICF, intracellular. Okay. So intracellular fluid, looking at here, of the fluids, and there's 60% fluids in men, 55% fluids in women, and about 2/3 of that is intracellular fluid, so the fluid inside cells. So the rest of it is extracellular fluid. So what makes that up? Well, come on. So there's fluid out here. These cells sit in fluid. There's fluid all around here. And because it is outside of cells, it's called extracellular fluid. Or ECF. But is this all there is to it? All this fluid that's here, that's around cells, has a special name. We call it interstitial fluid. So is that the only kind of extracellular fluid? Well, no. We have another type of extracellular fluid. So we have blood. So here's my blood. Of course, there are cells in here, blood cells, and of course inside of those cells are intracellular fluid. But out here, those cells, they float in another type of extracellular fluid. If there's fluid in here and those red blood cells are floating in it, that is called plasma. We know this. So the extracellular fluid is intracellular fluid plus plasma. So intracellular fluid plus plasma is the extracellular fluid. And the extracellular fluid is 1/3 of the fluid of the body. So 80% of that is the interstitial fluid, and 20% of it is the plasma in the blood. Okay, so make sure you understand that there are these two compartments, the compartments of the intracellular fluid, the fluid that is inside cells, and then the fluid that is outside of cells. So that's going to include your interstitial fluid and the plasma, and that is your extracellular fluid.